Okay, let's unbox our Wagner Power Steamer 715 and see what's in there. This is the box. This is purchased from Home Depot. I had to wait a couple of days because it was not a stock item. And that's what you get. There's a photo on there of what comes in the box. It's not a lot of stuff. Okay. First item, our manual, handy. Second item is the larger of the two steaming plates. Obviously the hose connects there. Hold it up against the wall to loosen your wallpaper. That's that. Next we have the bag with the hosing in there. It's quite long, which is good, and has threaded fittings on both sides. So you can connect either end to the steamer and either end to either of the two plates. Just like that. So our hose, power cord, pretty generic, looks just like one you have plugged into your computer. The smaller steamer plate, again with the hose fitting on there for smaller areas or hard to reach areas. And the steamer itself, which for all the world really is like an electric kettle. So there's an element in there that heats up and turns the water into steam. If you unscrew this, that's where we're going to pour our water in. Looks like it's got a little black thing on top, which I'm sure is perhaps a relief valve for pressure. Our hose connects to this fitting on the front, right here. And it is just as simple as that. Power plug in the back. So that's the entire contents of the box. We have the steamer, we have the hose, we have the power cord, and we have the small and large steamer. Contents of the box. So let's put this thing to work and see what we can do. Okay, I've just filled up our steamer and plugged it in. There's a max water level mark right here. I filled it to about here. I did notice when I was filling it that a little bit of water pours out the hose opening. So for example, if you had the hose still attached, you could easily have, half a cup full of water inside the hose before it starts making steam, just because of what spilled out as I was pouring water in the top. In there. So I just started it. I got a stopwatch going just for fun. The instructions say 15 minutes before it starts producing steam. So as soon as I see any steam coming out of there, I'm going to attach the hose and see what the quantity of steam looks like. Okay, we're just at 5 minutes. You can hear it boiling in there. I did hear one other reviewer say that when steam first started coming out, it was spitting hot water for a little bit. So his point was not to have the hose all connected and the fitting connected and just sitting around ready to use, for fear that some water is going to drip out, hot water is going to drip out your hose and make a mess where you don't want it. I assume that's because as it starts producing steam, the steam will condense inside the hose before enough steam is being produced to where it can continuously flow through the pipe. So I'm going to leave the hose disconnected until I start seeing steam, and then hook it up, and perhaps we'll avoid that problem with the water spitting out like the other reviewer said. So just like an electric kettle, I guess. We're at 6 minutes and we can hear it boiling. No steam yet. Okay, we're at 8 minutes and we're getting steam now. So I'm going to attach the hose if I can do so without burning myself and see what happens. Okay, we're right at 9 minutes. Not sure you can see the steam coming out of there. You can see it if I hold it on the mirror. So we're getting lots of steam at 9 minutes. It is just flying out of there. A couple of little water spits. Not much though. I think maybe it was a good idea to connect the hose after the steam started. So there you go. I really would like if this had a switch on it because I'm just going down and plug it now. But there we go. Plenty of steam at the 9-minute mark. And here's the reason for purchasing this steamer. So my attempt is to turn my seldom used shower stall into some kind of a steam shower. I'm not going to use this thing for stripping wallpaper. I don't have any wallpaper. So I've got it on the ground there, plugged in, and the hose draped over the top. So I have to figure out a way of putting some kind of a top on here that's obviously not permanent, just to keep the steam in, and maybe poke the hose over the side like that so steam is shooting out of there. I don't know if you can hear or see this, but you can hear water bubbling. So as well as the steam shooting out of there, there have been some droplets of water spitting out, some hot water. So you just want to make sure you're ready for that. See, just like that other guy said in the review. So you're going to get steam, but you're also going to get hot water. So according to the other person whose review I watched, they said this does cease after a couple of minutes when enough steam is being produced. But that's quite a bit of hot water coming out of there, so you want to be ready for that. It definitely makes plenty of steam though. It's hard to see there. You can kind of hear the bubbling, I assume is whatever water condenses in the line, but that's quite a bit of hot water coming out, so you could burn yourself accidentally perhaps if you're using it to steam wallpaper. What I could have done was empty the hose first and drained it. You see, I think now we're at the point where there's less and less water coming out and more steam. There was a period maybe of 1 minute there where there was quite a bit of hot water coming out, spattering out. Still a little bit. So I think if you're using this for stripping wallpaper, it's going to be a little bit messy, but it definitely produces tons of steam, that's for sure. The steamer's been running for maybe 5 minutes, and let me tell you, it gets hot. Hot enough to burn a kid who wasn't paying attention. I mean, I can't hold my hand on there for more than 3 or 4 seconds. So it gets pretty hot. Also gets pretty hot on the bottom. I mean, I've got it on a linoleum floor, so I don't think it's going to hurt it, but you know, it's pretty hot down there. So certainly something you want to treat with respect, I think. If you have kids or pets around when you're steaming wallpaper, I would be very vigilant. But it does what it says. Make steam.